What is going on, everybody? King Recon here for another One Piece discussion. There's no chapter this week, so I was like, you know what, man? This is the week. This is the week where we go back and we think about chapter 1010, that marvelous, glorious, just, man, who writes chapters like those? I mean, dog, come on. Like, bro, Roof Piece at its peak. Chapter 1010 of the best-selling manga in history. And in that chapter, we found out some very important things that changed the whole game from here on out and changed the game for things that happened before, at least for me. And so today, I want to sit here and talk about how Conqueror's coding changed the game. Both, like I said, for stuff that has taken place before and stuff that will take place later on, but especially stuff that will take place later on. Now, when it comes to stuff that took place before, we had spent so many years theorizing and asking ourselves, why in the world is Shanks' crew so nasty if none of them have fruits? You know, we all assume they're just straight up Haki users and they're just nasty, right? You know, from Shanks all the way down to the monkey. I mean, all of them are nasty, proficient Haki users. You feel me? I was like, yo, these individuals are nasty. So when Ben Beckman rolled up on Kizaru in Marineford, I was asking myself, like, I know this man is Shanks' right-hand man, but this is an admiral that we're talking about here. So for him to be, Ben Beckman, my man had to have had some insane ornament Haki put into his bullets for Kizaru to be shook like that, right? And we know Kizaru's a troll, but come on. That was half troll and half serious, Kizaru. I was like, hold on, bro. Like, this is Ben Beckman. So, yo, my man decides to click that trigger. I might be done. I might be done. Listen, earlier on Amazon Lily, we learned that individuals could infuse their weapons with Haki, which is why Luffy, whenever he was hurt by the arrows, he was like, sweet mother and flag runners, what is going on here? So we were led to assume that, let's just say, an individual like Yasop or someone like Ben Beckman or Lucky Roo, right? They pull out their guns, or Yasop and a sniper, and they infuse it with some sort of Haki. It's bound to do some damage, especially for individuals that are really, really strong and proficient with Haki in the way that we believed, and we still believe, or at least I believe, that Shanks' crew is probably the most proficient when it comes to just straight up Haki, right? So now with this recent revelation, with Conqueror's coding being a thing, let's just give a hypothetical thing out there and say that Ben Beckman has Conqueror's Haki. So if Ben Beckman has Conqueror's Haki, and he pulled up on Kizaru, and whenever he wielded the pistol and put it up and led Kizaru to say that, now I understand why he said that, because if he was rocking Conqueror's coding all the way back then, I mean, which I'm sure he was. If he had Conqueror's Haki, he was rocking it there in Marineford. So if Kizaru knew about this, he was like, you know what, man? Hold up. Because Conqueror's Haki infused bullets? That sounds devastating. That sounds nasty, right? Like, that sounds like something that you do not want to get hit by. Not by an individual as strong as the right-hand man of Shanks. You feel me? So it's like, yo, I understand Kizaru's an admiral, but a Conqueror's coding infused attack coming in from a Yonko commander? That thing's gonna do damage. That thing is gonna do damage, bro. And so it just led me to believe, you know, go even a step even further beyond. Shanks. Now, this is an individual that up until this point in time, we had seen him, right? You know, walking on a Whitebeard ship, making people pass out just by him walking, making the ship itself break. We're talking about the Moby Dick. And that thing was breaking apart at the seams because my boy was walking on the ship. I mean, the Conqueror's coding was probably coming out of his foot. My man's foot was hockeyed up. I mean, come on. Come on. So it's like it changes the way you look at certain things that have taken place before, right? And it's just like, man, now we understand why the Yonko are so feared, because not only do they have territories, not only do these individuals are strong both in terms of how durable they are. I mean, when you look at Kaido and Big Mom, when you see how much damage Kaido has taken in this arc, when you see how big of a tank Big Mom is, right? I mean, we're able to understand, when we look back at how much Whitebeard took in Marineford, we're able to see these dudes are tanks. They can take whole armies on by themselves, clearly. I mean, we saw what Kaido has done in this arc, bro. We're talking about Brock Lesnar, F5ing, Suplex City. My man is taking on everyone. Everyone can get the hands. It is free hands for everyone who wants it. That's why I love me some Kaido. Kaido's that dude. Kaido's that dude. But regardless. So it just really puts into perspective just how insanely strong these Yonko are. Not only just the Yonko, but you look back at individuals from the past, right? And Garp. You know, Garp is an individual that I strongly believe is very proficient when it comes to this stuff, man. You feel me? Dragon. You know, so when you think about these characters that could be proficient in Conqueror's coding, it immediately makes you like, no wonder these individuals are like, yo, not those dudes. Yo, those dudes, they're on a different level. They're on a different level. We saw what Roger and Whitebeard did when they clashed, not even touching, destroying the island. I mean, when you see stuff like that, it immediately puts things into perspective. Like, yo, you do not want to mess with these dudes. You don't want to mess with these dudes. And it's crazy. So, putting that all for the stuff that took place in the past, right? Now, let's talk about the future. Let's talk about the king. Let's talk about the GOAT with the coat and what he's about to do to this man, Hyakujo Brock Lesnar. When Kaido and Luffy start throwing hands again. Now, because Luffy's been knocked out, because he's been not only asleep for a while, but he ate his food, he's rejuvenated, he's ready to go in, my man can enter Gear 4th again. So I have no doubt in my mind, in base form with Conqueror's coded fists, he was doing damage to Kaido. He and Kaido had a straight-up clash of Conqueror's Haki with base attacks from a mace and from a fist, not even touching. And you saw the electricity from the Conqueror's Haki just going all over the place. So with that being said, imagine a scenario where Luffy heads back up there. They start throwing down a round 3. Round 3 of Luffy versus Kaido. I can tell you, I don't even have to, you know, if there's just certain things that are just laid out for you, it's just true. It's just true. Luffy versus Kaido round 3 is going to end up being the most epic stuff we have seen in the series to date. To date. When those two dudes start throwing hands, and not just hands, Conqueror's coded hands. Electricity flowing out their hands, call them NL. Call them NL. Call them Killua, call them any lightning user in the history of anime. These dudes are going to be throwing down with black and red electricity flowing out of their hands. But here's the thing, man. When my guy, the king, when Mugiwara no Luffy starts infusing Conqueror's coding into the Red Hawk, the Red Rock, the Elephant Gatling, bro, the Elephant Gun, the Leo Bazooka, the King Kong gun, are you kidding? Dog, if regular base attacks were putting in work on Kaido, if a Red Rock with no Conqueror's coding had him almost slump, wait until Luffy starts infusing his attacks with Conqueror's coding. But this is the thing. Because Gear 4th, and this is why I find Haki to be so genius, right? And not only that, but Gear 4th is a power-up to be so genius. And the fact that he uses so much Haki and uses so much of his stamina that he has to go back and rejuvenate himself because he's going to run out, right? So Kaido, he's going to have to defeat Kaido within a certain time limit. And we're talking about Kaido here, dude, right? We're talking about the final boss. I mean, you can give him one-winged angel. I mean, you can practically, he already has wings. My man is Onigashima flying in the air, bro. I mean, it is a stage set for a final JRPG boss. You feel me? The audience is watching. All we need is the boss theme playing, and you already know the animes can provide that, man. They can get the rights to any type of Final JRPG boss music, and we're gonna have it. We're gonna have it. But when this man Luffy, bro, goes up in and releases, I'm talking anything, but just with Conqueror's coding. So, like I said, red rocks, red hawks, son, elephant guns, elephant gatlings. We're talking gear 3rd, bro. Just gear 3rd. And if he doesn't want to enter gear 4th, just in gear 2nd and gear 3rd, jet pistols, jet gatling. But with armament Haki, hawk gatling, right? He goes in hawk gatling, red hawk, elephant gatling, elephant gun. If he doesn't want to enter gear 4th, because it takes up so much Haki, and he just goes into that, bro. His regular base form was, yo, he didn't even have to hit Kaido. You don't even have to hit him. Hawk Gatling, not having to hit Kaido, bro. And this is the thing. It looks like it's gonna be straight up. Now, Luffy's future sight, because when I went into this fight, I did a predictions video a while ago, talking about how it would be so awesome if Luffy and Kaido just started throwing down and they never dodged each other's blows. So it's just straight up, just boom, boom, boom. They're eating everything they can possibly take. So you see Kaido throwing everything he has, the 6 realms, Ragnaroku, and he's coming down with everything he's got, and Luffy's just tanking it. Luffy comes in, elephant gun and red hawk, red rock, Leo bazooka, black mamba, king cobra, all of it infused with Conqueror's coding. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but all of it infused with Conqueror's coding. But the more I thought about it, and I saw a comment that also talked about this too, and I wish I remember what the comment was. But it was basically talking about how, as awesome as that would be, it would also be really nice to show Luffy's and Kaido's proficiency in observation Haki as well. So we would be able to see Luffy potentially dodging these faster than light attacks coming from Kaido. Kaido is moving so fast. It's kind of hard to gauge how fast he's moving until we see it in the anime, honestly, because we saw how fast he was moving in the original fight between the two. But on the roof, we're really going to see just how strong, or not only just how strong, how fast Kaido actually is, right? The fact that Luffy has future sight now and still had an issue with dodging Kaido's attack. Kaido is fast, dog. He is not only huge, my man is fast. That's a dangerous combination. That is what Vince McMahon wants in a wrestler. That is a fierce combination. So it would be nice, because like I said, originally I wanted them to just throw at, not even dodge, just throw. Now, as much as I would love that would be awesome on some Yusuke versus Chu stuff. But it would be really nice to also see their proficiency in observation Haki, because why else would Luffy have learned future sight before this arc? Is to use it here and now, man. What else for his observation Haki to really bloom here? We already see his Conqueror's coding and the Conqueror's Haki blooming, the Armament Haki with Rio Haki, right? So it's like, what better way than to take out Kaido utilizing everything you have? All 3 forms of your Haki, in observation, the Rio, and Conqueror's coding, and fusing it with your gears, mastering the gears, using Tank Man, Snake Man, and Bounce Man, all infused. Well, in gear 2nd and gear 3rd, all of it. I'm talking about Luffy's going to come out of this thing worse than whenever he was fighting Lucci and Katakuri, where he just couldn't move. Robin had to push him off the ledge in Enies lobby. He had to be carried in Whole Cake Island. I'm talking that level of not being able to move. My man was slumped for days in Dressrosa. That's what I'm talking about. So here, obviously, against Kaido, he's going to have to give it everything he has. So we might see ultimate, I'm talking the craziest stuff, right? Gear 2nd, gear 3rd, all 3 gear 4ths, just switching back and forth. Just like if he was Ben 10 in the Omnitrix. On some crazy, insane transformations. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. How nuts would that be? That would be insane. That would be, especially if the attacks were used to Conqueror's coding. So Kaido sees all of this and he just continues to go out and eventually he defeats him. But what I'm trying to get to is that Conqueror's coding changes the game now, because before going into this fight and before learning what Conqueror's coding was, all of us assumed that Luffy had to either awaken or attain gear 5th in order to take on Kaido. And I no longer think that's necessarily the case. I would love to see gear 5th or awakening, because come on, how awesome would that be, right? But I no longer think that's the case because Kaido has taken so much damage. He has fought the Scabbards. He fought all of the next generation on the in Roof Piece. You know, taking damage from every single individual up there. Now he's fighting Yamato, and it's like, my man is that dude. You know, Kaido, no doubt in my mind, he is that guy. I mean, it's obvious. You know that meme. You know, he's not that guy. Kaido's that guy. Oh, and everyone knows it. Every human being knows. My man even crafted his own top 5. You know what, bro? This is Hyaku Jun, bro. Listen, Brock, Kaido, Lesnar. And you're telling me that after all of this stuff that's going down, it is perfect for now a final 1v1 with the king, right? So with that being said, I think that if we don't get Awakening or Gear 5th, it still remains plausible Luffy can do this. Why? Because we saw what he was doing. He lasted 30 minutes in base form throwing down with Kaido, and Kaido got so excited that, and apparently a new move had been teased. He was talking about Gomu Gomu no, you know, making fun of that. Luffy was probably teasing a brand new move. No idea what that is, but he was probably testing something with the Conqueror's coding, and that might be when he ran out of the Conqueror's coding, or his Haki in general, and he was thrown off the roof. But regardless, that's how I believe Conqueror's coding is going to change the game when it comes to Luffy, because now he's definitely going to have a chance. When he gets up there and he's able to infuse these attacks, I mean, let's just say, like I said, bro, Red Rock rocked. No pun intended, it rocked Kaido. Imagine that thing infused with Conqueror's coding. I mean, serious, it's going to change the game. So I really can't wait to see the way that that's going to go, especially with the clashes. You're going to end up splitting the skies. It's going to be so much fun. I'm telling you, it's going to be the most epic stuff we've seen in the series up to this point. But not just Luffy. What about if we get something with Zoro? Because Zoro, obviously, it was showcased in this chapter, in chapter 1010, for the fact that, and obviously the anime is super excited, like, yeah, Zoro, Conqueror Haki, baby, let's flip and get it, baby. But Oda was like, yo, through Kaido, stating, you know what? You have the colors of the Supreme King too. You know, you have Conqueror's coding, or Conqueror's Haki as well. And at the time, and especially now, with what's been going down, and we look at the rest of the things in the series, you know, Ashura has always been something so just, we can't explain it. We don't know if it's Haki. We don't know if it's a manifestation of the spirit, which is kind of what Haki's supposed to be, right? So it's like, we don't know. But with the whole Black Blades concept and the more information we get about Conqueror's coding, the more I'm starting to believe that by the end of this arc, regardless of whether Zoro fights King, or whether Zoro goes back up to help Luffy on the roof, regardless of what ends up happening, I think it's going to be very key that he once again utilizes maybe not the Ashura once more. Or, I mean, I would love that. Another Dead Man's Game or a variation of that, you know, that would be awesome. But he was able to injure Kaido, I'm going to assume, because it was Ashura. If he senses Conqueror's Haki, he must have Conqueror's coded, right? That's my assumption. So if he was able to do that, then I'm led to believe that he's going to end up doing it again, regardless of whether he fights. So we're going to be able to see it from Zoro as well. Maybe. We're going to see Conqueror's Haki from him, no question. Whether it's knocking out fodder or whether it's infusing his attacks. But the thing is it took Luffy to get the basics of Conqueror's Haki before he could do Conqueror's coding. So maybe asking for Conqueror's coding already from Zoro is too much, but I don't know. He's the right hand man of the king, so I don't know. You feel me? I don't know. We'll see. But with the last thing that I want to say before I end this video about the future of Conqueror's coding and why it's going to be so much fun to see where things go from here is going back to what I was saying before with the other top tiers in the verse, when you have people like Shanks, when you have people like Dragon, and these individuals I strongly believe are heavily proficient in this type of stuff. Just imagine whenever they start going in here, because if Oda gave us this now, it's obviously because he wants to show it off in its fullest form later. So we're going to see when Shanks fights Blackbeard. whatever island they're on. I mean, y'all remember when Law cut all of Punk Hazard in half, that whole mountain in half, the laboratory in half? Wait until this man Shanks sees Blackbeard, dude. Wait until he sees Blackbeard. Because listen, it is going to be a scenario where this man's going to be walking on the island and his feet are once going to be covered in Conqueror's coating, and that thing's just going to be being ripped apart at the seams just by this man walking on the island. Blackbeard is going to be zay-ha-ha-haing as he should. That's the big goat counting stacks. You feel me? He's going to be counting stacks. Up until the day that he dies, he's going to be counting stacks. He doesn't even sleep. He counts stacks in his sleep. He doesn't sleep. My man 24/7 to the grind. You gotta love it. You love to see it. Blackbeard. Shanks. This man Blackbeard with the Gura Gura no Mi. And with the Yami Yami no Mi. He's gonna pull up Shiryu, Katarina, Avalo. All of them. They're gonna pull up, man. And Lafitte. Whole squad on Shanks. And Lucky Roo. And it's just straight up gonna be fruits, Haki. And we're gonna see, especially if Oda gives us roof piece time dedicated to this, we're gonna see the greatest and most, the Conqueror's coding that we're gonna see there. I'm going to assume, like I said, that at the very least, Ben Beckman has Conqueror's Haki on that ship. It's Shanks and Ben Beckman. But hypothetical situation, right? Actually, no, not even that. Because Lucky Roo, y'all know how much I love me some Lucky Roo. And my man ate meat while catching a body. But Lucky Roo goes in, let's just say he has, his armament Haki is just, it's beyond Virgo level. Instead of my man going and placing his whole body in armament Haki, he places his whole hand. He places his mouth, because he's the one that bit off kid's arm. Bro, let's just say. So he's just nasty with armament Haki. He's just nasty. Same thing with Yasop. It's like Yasop probably observation, right? We see that his son has wall hacks; it can see through the wall. So let's just say that this man Yasop is nasty with observation Haki too. He has wall hacks, but he also has armament Haki. So not only can he, he has nasty wall hacks, he can shoot through the walls too. So he has FMJ Stopping Power Pro. Dude is just filthy, just quick scope, 360 no scopes. It would be beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And so it'd be them, I'm pretty sure everybody else also proficient in some sort of Haki, whether it be observation or ornament. But then when it comes to Shanks, man, we're going to see the very best showcase up until that point of Conqueror's coding. I'm talking the electricity. There's going to be so much red and black electricity coming out of the pages. It's going to be like whenever Toriko fought Starjin, and you could barely see the panels because of just how much blood there was all over the place. Except this time it's going to be how there's going to be so much black and red lightning that the panel's going to be hard to see, because it's going to be just straight up Shanks flexing. It's going to be a flex fest between Shanks and Blackbeard. Bro, imagine this man Blackbeard casually using the Gura Gura no Mi and just destroy. He can tilt and or move the seas as he pleases. Bah! Here comes one tsunami. Bah! Here comes the other tsunami. And this man Shanks, being so proficient in armament Haki, or in observation Haki, or in Conqueror's coding, or in Conqueror's, I can't even speak. That's how hyped this junk's about to be, bro. The sand has to be flying. This man's going to use the Conqueror's Haki as the seas come in. And bro, Sea King's going to be riding on top of the tsunamis. You're going to have the whales coming down, be like, yo, they're going to want to be a part of the audience. And as the whales and the Sea Kings are coming down, they're going to run in opposite directions, because what's going to be down there? This man Shanks flexing his Conqueror. I'm out of here because if we continue on any further, I'm just going to go on and talk about Dragon and this man using Conqueror's coding on Instant Messenger Sama, and how awesome that. But this is the thing, right? Because we don't know who can use Conqueror's coding, according to Kaido, only a select few individuals can utilize this. We know, of course, we know Roger and Whitebeard were capable of doing it. Kaido's capable of doing it. Big Mom, Luffy. I know for a fact. Shanks. You don't have to tell me. I know for a fact. Everyone in that Kaido's top 5 image with Odin and Roger, Whitebeard, Rocks, and Shanks, they all can use it. I can promise that they all can use Conqueror's coding. So if Luffy can use it, I'm going to assume it's Pops can use it. If Pops can use it, I'm pretty sure Garp could use it, especially Garp. But yeah, man, I just really wanted to sit down and talk about it because chapter 1010 has been rent free. I honestly think, because I was asked this in the test stream that I did of whether that's the top 5 chapter for me, and it is my favorite action chapter in the series. I can safely say that. And the thing is it's like it's kind of tied with, but at the same time it's not, because 1010 is truly one of the greatest chapters that I've ever read, and it's just such a special chapter. You know, not only following the I mean, bro, one look, but it's just the dialogue in that chapter, the way that it was just structured, and the fighting sequences, bro, that was Luffy at his absolute goatest. I mean, dog, you had a Yu Yu Hakusho. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it's just, I love that chapter so much, bro. It's just, I don't even know if I can like properly put into words how much how awesome chapter 1010 is, right? And there's a personal thing of just, you know, that was my 300th chapter review / reaction. Technically, because I started doing reviews back in chapter 710 on the old channel, so it's like, oh, that was the big 300, and you give me that, and it's like, man, but there's been so many awesome other action chapters in the series, and it's obvious recency bias because Roof Piece was so good, but like it was just, I love that chapter, man. Like I was seriously, but regardless, this is about Conqueror's coding, awesome, new. Thing brought into the story, and something that makes a lot of sense, something that puts things into perspective for things that were taking place in the past. I mean, look at Rayleigh, right? Rayleigh uses Conqueror's coding, and you can see exactly why Garp said we cannot take on both Rayleigh and Whitebeard at the same time. Why? Bro, could you imagine those individuals pulling up at Marineford, and they're capable of utilizing all of the stuff that we've seen right now? You know, Whitebeard, I mean, bro, that man was a little healthier. I mean, yo, Whitebeard was almost dead, and you saw what he was doing. Bro, this man, Rayleigh, would have pulled up with him? They would have had to fight both him and Rayleigh at the same time? Conqueror's coding Rayleigh? My man was coding ships. He would have been coding Marineford. I'm done. Yo, I love y'all. Y'all have an awesome sauce of a day. I will see y'all next time. I love this, bro. This chapter, bro, when we look back at chapter 1010, just the pure meathead energy within me. Every time I think back to this chapter, I'm just like, yes. But then besides that, my brain, as someone who genuinely wants to see really interesting stuff in the future, like Luffy and Kaido throwing down and all these different formations, because now Luffy can utilize Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd and Gear 4th, and all of them do damage because of Conqueror's coding existing. You know, we can see the newest development in Zoro's growth as a swordsman because of Conqueror's Haki, right? And potentially Conqueror's coding down the line. You know, by the time he fights Mihawk, I'm sure, right? And then when it comes to Shanks and Blackbeard and Dragon, and so I just really wanted to come out here and talk about it because I don't know when I would have another opportunity to talk about it. And there's no One Piece chapter this week. And when there's no One Piece chapter, there's a hole. And that hole needs to be filled by Conqueror's coding, man. So I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have an awesome summer day. Let me know what y'all think about any of this in the comment section down below. And I will see y'all next time for some more One Piece greatness, because that's what we talk about on this channel. We talk about the One Piece greatness. That's what it is. But y'all have a good one. Stay blessed. Cannot wait to see... I'm telling you, wait until Luffy gets back up there, bro. Wait until the Red Hawk comes in, but it's filled with lightning. I'm out, because now we're gonna be here all night.